In a small village, there lived a man named Saga. He was known far and wide for his wisdom and compassion. He spent his days in quiet contemplation, seeking to understand the true nature of the world and the people around him. Saga's wisdom was not gained through books or formal education, but through his experiences and observations of life. He had faced numerous hardships in his early years, which had molded him into the kind, understanding soul he was today. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Saga sat under the great Bodhi tree at the heart of the village. People often sought his counsel, and that evening was no different. A young woman named Lena approached him, her eyes filled with tears. "Saga," she said, her voice quivering, "I need your advice. My father has arranged my marriage to a man I do not love. I feel trapped, and my heart is heavy with sorrow." Saga looked at Lena with empathy in his eyes. He reached out and patted her hand gently. "Dear Lena," he began, "I understand your pain. But remember, life is filled with twists and turns, and sometimes we must walk through difficult paths to find the hidden gems of wisdom and happiness." Lena sighed, unsure if she could find solace in those words. But Saga's presence itself was comforting, and she felt reassured that she was not alone in her struggles. As the days passed, more and more people sought Saga's guidance, and he was always there for them, offering his wisdom and understanding. He listened without judgment, no matter how trivial or serious their problems seemed to be. People began to see him as a beacon of light in times of darkness. One day, a wealthy merchant named Raj arrived in the village. Raj was a proud man, dressed in luxurious clothes and adorned with expensive jewelry. He had heard of Saga's wisdom and decided to test it, eager to prove that wealth was the true measure of a person's worth. Raj approached Saga with a smug smile and said, "They say you are wise, old man. Let's see if you can solve a problem as great as mine. I have everything money can buy, but I am plagued by an emptiness I cannot explain." Saga looked at Raj with his kind eyes, unfazed by the merchant's arrogance. "You seek happiness in material possessions, but true contentment lies within," Saga replied. "Happiness is not about what you have. It's about how you perceive and cherish what you already possess." Raj scoffed at Saga's response. "You speak in riddles, old man. My wealth defines who I am, and no amount of empty philosophy can change that." With a gentle smile, Saga said, "It's not my intention to change you, my friend, but to offer you a different perspective. Look within yourself, and you might find what you seek." Raj left, unconvinced and still carrying the weight of his perceived emptiness. He couldn't understand how a man of humble means like Saga could possess wisdom that was beyond his grasp. One evening, a grand feast was held in the village to celebrate a bountiful harvest. The entire village gathered, dressed in their finest attire, and shared in the joyous occasion. Even Raj attended the event, hoping that the festivities would distract him from his inner turmoil. As the night wore on, music filled the air, and laughter echoed through the village square. Raj observed Saga sitting under the Bodhi tree, surrounded by a group of children, regaling them with stories and teachings. Despite the festivities, Saga remained serene and content. Curiosity getting the better of him, Raj approached Saga and asked, "How can you be so content with so little? Look at me, surrounded by wealth, and yet I feel a void inside." Saga smiled warmly at Raj and gestured toward the sky. "Look at the stars," he said. "Each one shines brightly, unique in its own way. Just like them, every person has their own light, their own story. You can never truly understand someone until you know their journey." Raj pondered over Saga's words, realizing that true wealth was not in material possessions, but in the richness of one's experiences and the relationships they build. As the months passed, Raj often found himself seeking Saga's counsel, drawn to the wisdom that seemed to transcend the material world. Slowly, he started to understand that his emptiness was a result of his obsession with acquiring things, while neglecting the simple joys of life. One day, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, Raj approached Sagar with a humbled expression. "I have realized the shallowness of my pursuits," he said. "I spent my life amassing wealth and status, but I lacked the compassion and understanding that you possess. I was quick to judge others without knowing their stories." Sagar nodded knowingly. "We all make judgments based on our limited perceptions," he said. "But when we let go of preconceived notions and approach others with an open heart, we can learn and grow from each encounter." From that day on, Ray's life took a different path. He used his wealth to uplift the lives of those less fortunate, bringing joy and happiness to many. He became a philanthropist, building schools, hospitals, and community centers in the village and neighboring areas. His transformation touched the lives of countless people, and he found a newfound sense of purpose and contentment. The village prospered under Ray's compassionate leadership, and he credited his transformation to the wisdom of the old sage Sagar. People began to see the true meaning of wealth, and the village became a place of harmony and understanding. One stormy evening, as rain poured down in torrents, Sagar fell seriously ill. The entire village prayed for his well-being, for they knew that his presence was a guiding light in their lives. Raj, now a dear friend of Sagar, sat by his bedside, holding his frail hand. "Thank you, my friend," Raj whispered. "Your wisdom has given me a life worth living, and I am eternally grateful." Sagar smiled weakly and said, "You found the true wealth within yourself, my friend. It was always there. You just needed to open your heart to it." As days turned into weeks, Sagar's health continued to decline, but his spirit remained strong. One morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, Sagar peacefully passed away, leaving behind a legacy of compassion, understanding, and wisdom. The entire village mourned his loss, for they had lost a beloved teacher and friend. But his teachings lived on in their hearts, and they vowed to carry forward the message of never judging others, for they did not know their stories. In memory of Sagar, the village built a beautiful garden around the Bodhi tree, where he had spent so many hours imparting his wisdom. It became a place of reflection and peace, attracting travelers from far and wide, seeking solace and enlightenment. And so, the story of Sagar and his profound wisdom was passed down through generations, becoming a timeless tale of compassion, humility, and the importance of looking beyond appearances to understand the true essence of others. The village continued to flourish, guided by the teachings of the wise old sage Sagar, who had taught them the profound truth. Never judge others, you don't know their story.